Hey everyone, I wanted to do just a quick video on some pre-running joint um, lubrication exercises. It's really important that when you start running not to stretch your muscles because they're cold unless you do yoga or something prior, but it's really important to work on your joints, and when you move them they get lubricated and then you're going to be less prone to accidents. So I'm gonna try and hopefully this will videotape right. So I apologize for not getting my whole body, but I hope this helps. So I always start from the bottom and work my way. So let me see if I can get this adjusted to my feet. So your ankles are very important when you're running, and it's a lot of people get stress fractures and so forth in their ankles if in their shins if they're not working right. So what you do is you take your foot like this and then you just go round and round, and you go, I like to go about 10 right and then 10 left, and I do each foot, and what it does is it's taking that ankle joint and it's going to lubricate it and get it ready to run. Another thing that I like to do is I like to go like this. That helps with the ankle, the toes, the foot. And have you ever had like gum or something stuck to the bottom of your shoe and you're just kind of like, you're just trying to get it off? That's what it's like. You're not doing a lot of pressure. You're just like, you're trying to get something off the bottom of your foot. So you do that with each foot, and then you put your legs together. I'm not sure if you can see me, but I'm going to do a little bit of a squat. You squat a little bit. Make sure your knees do not go over your toes, and you're just going to sit down a little bit and you're going to go round and round. Make sure your knees do not go over your toes, okay? What you're doing is you're actually working on your knee joint right here, and you're getting it lubricated. So I like to go about 10 times right, 10 times left, and yes, you're probably going to hear some squeaking and some creaking, and it might feel a little weird, but it is going to help you tremendously. I used to have a lot of knee problems until I started doing this. So do this. Make sure you do it equal times, and that will help. Always, again, make sure your knees are not going above your toes, because then you're hyperextending. I'm a little out of breath because I just got done with my T25, so I apologize. But now you're going to work on your hips. You want to take your fingers, feel your hip bone right here. I like to do this one with my hands on my hip bone, and get your feet just a little hip width apart, and you're going to just like pretend like your hip bone, it's like it's kind of shaped like this, and you're going to extend it so it like can hold soup. So I put my hands here on my hip bone and I extend up, okay? It's going to feel funny, but this is actually how you should be running. This is how your hip should be. So you just go around, and it's going to work in your hip. Some people, their psoas muscle will hurt. This will help with this. Your IT band, this will help with this as well. So you just go, again, 10 to the right, 10 to the left. And sometimes you are going to look a little funny when you're at a race and you're doing all these things, but you know what? It's going to make a world of difference. So again, I try to make it even on each side. And then what you can do up front is, when you run, do you have a problem with your back? Okay? If you have a problem with your back, sometimes people, when they run, they're actually running like this, like they're humped over. It's not good. Always try to make sure that you're up and you have at least a fist-sized distance between your chin and your chest, because if you're hunched over, then you're using muscles you shouldn't be. But I always just work on my shoulder joints. You know, I do one each way, to the back, to the front. Again, I just stick with 10 because 10 is just an easy number for me to remember. You can do whatever you want to do. And then I usually, mostly because I'm nervous, but because it actually does help with your middle of your back, I usually do this stretch, if you can see. That helps again with the middle of your back. And so those are what I do when I get ready for a race. It really does help. Believe me, it does make a big difference, a race or run. anything over a mile. It's so good to just get your joints lubricated and get ready for a run. When you're done running, stretch. Later, probably in a couple days, I will post a short video on some great stretches to do after you run. But you lubricate your joints prior to running, and you stretch your muscles after running. That's when they're warm. So hope this helps.